I had some fun. I was on Joy Reid show Saturday on MSNBC where I got to share with her what we call Kylie McEnany, Donald Trump's press spokesperson, on this show, which of course is Baghdad Barbie, in honor of Baghdad Bob, who was Saddam Hussein's lying spokesperson. 113 days into the most important election of our lives. No understatement. In fact, our family's lives depend on it. This isn't politics. We see what's going on. Things are getting worse by the minute with the virus. We'll talk about it. We have a great doctor on, Dr. Sima Yasmin, who used to be in the CDC, to try to help us make sense of what is going on, how do we save lives going forward. Just minutes ago, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has now announced the closing again of bars, restaurants, zoos, museums, movie theaters across the entire state. You see, state after state, the problems are happening. But we did learn something Saturday. If you were wondering how many Americans had to die before Donald Trump would wear a mask in public, well, the right answer is 135,000. Literally, that's what it took. 135,000 Americans to die before Donald Trump would be photographed wearing a mask in public, which he did Saturday night. He deserves zero applause. You do not applaud a serial killer who stopped killing after slaughtering thousands of people in kind. You do not applaud Donald Trump for finally doing the right thing when his administration has been telling Americans to wear a mask. Do you know when his administration first said, wear a mask in public? April 3rd. And Donald Trump stood right there at the press conference when his administration, his White House task force said, you should wear a mask in public. And what did Trump do at that very press conference? At that moment, that very press conference, he undermined the importance of wearing a mask, telling people there, I'm choosing not to do it. I'm choosing not to do it. And there, thus was born the politicization of masks, a life-saving measure in a deadly pandemic. Right there, it happened April 3rd. Just to remind you, at the time on April 3rd, when the administration that Trump had said wear masks, do you know how many Americans had died? Only 7,000 that time. And in the nation, we only had about 275,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Now we have over 135,000 dead and 3.5 million cases. That's where we are. As the virus continued to grow, what did Trump do? He continued to mock the idea of wearing a mask. In May, he mocked a reporter at a White House press conference who was wearing a mask, saying, oh, you're just doing that to be politically correct. And the next day, when America hit 100,000 deaths from COVID-19, what did Trump do? He shared a tweet mocking Joe Biden for wearing a mask. And Joe Biden responded by calling Trump an absolute fool. And 100% right. And what's the results of this? It's not just words. With Trump's base, they actually think he's telling them the truth. Sadly, they lack critical thinking skills. That's so much of what's going on here. New poll today from Gallup gives us a sense. 61% of Democrats say they always wear a mask in public. 61%. Of Republicans, only 24% say they always wear a mask. And then they ask Republicans, do you never wear a mask outside the home? 27% of Republicans say they never wear a mask, in contrast to 1% of Democrats. That is all Trump's doing. Again, imagine if on April 3rd, only 7,000 Americans dead, he told his base, wear a mask. It's the right thing to do. He tweeted about it. He made it a cultural issue in the right way. Think about how many Americans' lives would have been saved. Obviously, we can't quantify with any exactitude how many lives would have been saved, but I can tell you this. Projections from the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation estimate that if we all wear masks for the next 4 months, we would save 45,000 lives. Well, if in April Trump said wear a mask, we very well could have saved at least 30 to 4,000 American lives. But to Trump, saving 30 or 40,000 American lives mean nothing. Because to Trump, in his mind, whatever helps him get reelected. So his new push after liberate the states, which has left us in a nightmare scenario we're now living in, he now wants to liberate the schools. He wants to force kids and teachers back to enclosed environments with no guidelines, nothing. He had Betsy DeVos, his Secretary of Education, on CNN yesterday, no clue. They have no plan. There is no plan. Just have to go to school, got to go to school. Just a short time ago, Trump was asked at the press briefing about what's your message to parents who are concerned about their kids going to school and the environment there, that they could get the virus, and the teachers as well. In fact, citing a teacher in Arizona, a beloved teacher who was 61 years old, had worked as a teacher for over 30 years, teaching summer school. She had COVID-19 and recently died. And he said, what is your message to them? And Trump said, open the schools. We got to open the schools. Zero explanation of how you're going to keep people safe. Zero empathy or compassion for parents and teachers concerned with loved ones. That's Trump. That is Trumpism. That is the selfishness that is this man. Because Trump believes opening the schools is good for him. And then it got even worse today, and we'll cover this a lot more in my show. Donald Trump began trying to destroy the credibility of Dr. Fauci over the weekend with a statement released by the White House smearing him. Even today, Trump's deputy chief of staff for communications, Dan Scavino, shared a cartoon mocking Dr. Fauci. And then Trump today shares a tweet from Chuck Woolery. Yes, that Chuck Woolery from Love Connection, who's known for medicine, right? No, he's not. But Chuck Woolery smeared the CDC, doctors, Democrats, and the media, saying we're all saying what we're saying because we want to hurt Trump. See, this is Trump delusional syndrome. This is Trump derangement syndrome. They think everything in the world revolves around Trump. Trump derangement syndrome is them. They believe the world revolves around their beloved leader. So everything we all do is in relation to their son, called Donald Trump. I don't mean S-O-N Trump. I mean S-U-N. It's not. We want to save lives. You could open schools and keep kids safe. Governor Cuomo made that point today. I'll play some great clips from Governor Cuomo on that. The whole thing here, Donald Trump wants to destroy the credibility of Dr. Fauci and wants to destroy the credibility of the CDC for one reason. Because he wants people just to listen to him. He wants people just to believe him so that he can lie like he's done on every other issue, but in this case with your health, with your kids' health, with teachers' health. Just the same Donald Trump who on January 22nd told America he had COVID-19 totally under control. The same Trump on February 10th said, the virus, it goes away in April with the heat. February 26th said we had 15 cases in America, would soon be 0. February 28th, he called the virus Democrats' new hoax. March 7th, he said, I'm not concerned. We're doing a great job. He said this would go away like a miracle. And just last week on 4th of July, he looked in the camera, read from his speech, and lied to the American people, saying 99% of the cases of coronavirus are totally harmless. That's totally bullshit. We have a 4.5% mortality rate. Not 0.45%, 4.5%. Nearly 5% of every American right now getting this dies from it. 20% of Americans who get this go to the hospital. Thousands and thousands are going to have scarred lungs, cognitive disabilities, strokes, and the list goes on. Trump wants them to mislead because in Trump's mind, everybody ignores the virus, goes back to work, goes back to school, doesn't matter who dies. He wants re-election because unemployment goes down, stock market goes up. Trump cares about Trump. You know that, I know that. No need for me to tell you that. Trumpers know that too, and they like that because they love Trump. This is the world we live in. So we're going to talk about that and more on the show. Got a great show lined up for you. Today, the chairman of the New Hampshire Democratic Party, Ray Buckley, is going to join us. Trump was supposed to have a rally there Saturday and canceled because of the weather. Well, Ray Buckley is going to tell us the real reason. You might be interested about how few people, if any, were lining up for this rally. What was really going on in New Hampshire? Talk about that. Rick Unger is going to join us. And, of course, Dr. Seema Yasmin, as I mentioned, from CDC, used to be with CDC. Again, the show's live, 6 to 9 p.m. Eastern, channel 127 on SiriusXM. And go, if you don't subscribe to SiriusXM, go to the website. Check it out. There's free trials all the time. Tune in. Be a part of the conversation. Love to hear from you on the show. Thanks for watching my little preview of